I've been a student for essentially 15 years now. I've been through school, university, cramming, late nights, all of those tiresome experiences as a student. I've had some failures, aced exams, procrastinated a little bit too much sometimes. And through all those years of important experience, I've learned what you actually need to do to be successful. None of that talk about becoming an academic weapon when in reality you're going to become an academic slave. This is about having a successful academic year without draining yourself and becoming absolutely stressful throughout the whole process. It's all about balance, setting the right goals, and surrounding yourself around the right support. Now let's dive into how to make your academic year one of your best ever yet. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through fundamentals. They are non-negotiables if you want to achieve high, and trust me, if you stick to them, you will see results. In this video, we will go through setting goals and prioritizing what matters, intentional studying, balancing your academics with your personal life, prioritizing your mental health, and lastly, building the right support system. I hope to leave you with a bunch of things to think about how you approach this new academic year as we enter 2025. Whether it means evaluating what friends you have around yourself, what systems you currently have in place, and how much of a detriment you are being to your own academic success. Now let's dive into the video. Number one, setting the right goals and prioritizing what matters. You can't hit a target that you haven't set. And so that's why I get why a lot of the girlies do nice vision board. Every time you wake up, you can see what your goal is. And so if you are a visual learner, try and keep some kind of signaling in your room to remind you of what your goal is, and be honest with yourself. What do I want as an outcome of my hard work, so that it's something that I can strive towards and actually place in structures that will mean that I'm actually likely to achieve that. In doing so, remember that success is not a one-size-fits-all mechanism. Everyone's version of success or academic achievement looks different, and so set goals that are in line with what you want to do, not what others are doing or what you think you should be doing out of pressure. Think about, what do you want your academic year to look like? Do you want high grades? Do you want balance? Do you want to be able to get high grades or medium grades, but then at the same time still have your life? Do you just want to pass a difficult subject? I mean, I've definitely had some classes that I just hated and just wanted to pass. Set smart goals. Maybe if it's maths, you might realize that maths is a really practical subject. You need to do a lot of past papers on a regular basis, so you might set yourself 30 minutes to go through a couple of past papers each day before you go to school. Put in place an exact framework that is going to tackle the goal you want to achieve. If it's an essay subject, maybe you want to develop your writing and strengthen it, or develop your pace of writing. Then set aside a certain amount of time or a certain amount of paragraphs that you want to crack on with in a week. In doing so, the only thing that is going to help you going is finding your why. Why are you doing this? What is the larger cause behind all of this? And I've learned through the hard way that not setting my why and the targets and having a clear vision for myself, I end up losing myself sometimes. The teacher's not going to put those frameworks in place. So set those specific goals fit for yourself. Now, in relation to targets, be intentional about your studying and your modes of revising. You don't need to spend a crazy amount of time studying, and there's certain bits of your studying or education that is irrelevant to the way in which you're going to be tested. I'm going to explain this in further depth. Linking to this issue of why. Knowing your why. Why are you studying this? What is the purpose of this information that you're studying? What is the role of it in the future exams that you're going to do? Every academic task has a different purpose, and knowing that set purpose is going to allow you to prioritize and live a lot more stress-free. Listen, homework is not always in relation to the exams. It's just a mechanism of reinforcing the learning. And as you progress through your education, you start to realize it even more. By the time that you get to university, tutorials and seminars, to what extent do they actually resemble the stuff that you're needing to do in your exams? Not really. You're just cracking on with a bunch of essays that require a lot more depth compared to the discussions you go through in your seminars. If you're at school stages, homework, well, not all the homework is actually going to come up in your test papers. Maybe for maths, where topics are quite interlinked, But for something like an essay subject, you're going to be tested on a set topic. And so find revision or study methods that are more in tune with that. For maths, I remember myself just doing past papers. It's the only way. You're not going to have to do anything else. So why are you reading content? You want to put stuff in practice. Same thing in terms of an essay subject like English. You want to put it in practice by doing an essay. And so given the nature of English exams or essay exams being more focused on conveying an argument, the best way really to revise is creating essay plans. In the exams, yes, you might come across a bespoke question, but that question is going to be a past question or a question your teacher might have shown you, but reworded, and you can still use the same arguments you made in that previous essay in this bespoke scenario. And so in terms of time and the amount of hours that you'd be studying, a lot of people like to use the Pomodoro method, and I like it sometimes, but you always need to be studying for many hours, rotting away, feeling like you're productive when in reality you might not be doing much to its full effect. And so the best thing here is work to times that work for you. If you're a 15-minute block person, stick to that. Don't do your 1 hours because you know you're going to get distracted. I like to use the Flora app over here, click on it for a 10-minute read when I'm doing my dissertation readings. And so that means that I am using my time to its full effect. I know that I've cracked on for a serious 10 minutes rather than procrastinating with 30 minutes. I don't feel like it's procrastination because I'm doing work. You need to create environments for yourself that will enable hyper-focus. Now, balancing academics and your personal life. One of my favorite philosophies, I truly believe in the fact that you need to learn how to be an all-rounded person and balance being an academic alongside having a life. Why am I going to be an academic slave instead of being an academic weapon? Reinforcing the points that I mentioned earlier about being productive with your time, but truly being productive through setting frameworks that enable your fullest potential. And so it is essential to time block. Create that timetable for yourself. Be ready to amend it. Having a set time block will mean that I need to be in the gym at this time, and that is a non-negotiable. You won't really feel bad for the fact that you're being in the gym because you'll notice that later on I am going to study and I am going to commit to that, because when I pick up my phone when I'm trying to study, I'll feel bad because I went to the gym and I know that this is my studying time. And when I talk about creating balance, I don't mean just academics and literally going to the gym. Block in your YouTube, tune into Living Lima, block in time for hobbies, painting, drawing. My favorite thing recently, especially given the type of person that I am, I love to slot in a nap. It's an essential thing for me because I know during the night I don't get as crazy amount of hours of sleep compared to the conventional person. So blocking out that nap in the day does allow me to recharge myself. And once again, I'm reinforcing, do what works for you. We honestly need to stop glorifying overworking. I do like to romanticize studying, and I think it helps with motivation, but let's not glorify it to the point that we get distracted from the true use of our time. The endless hours that you're spending studying does not equate to an output of success. It just doesn't. Targeted approaches is the only way that you're guaranteed success. And other things that I like to do to enable balance throughout, even when I am studying, is going for walks. As soon as I start to realize that I clock out, maybe walk around my room, walk around my compound, get some fresh air. Your main blocks of focus study. Don't turn on your phone. Well, I don't think those are great ways of breaking. In reality, they're just a distraction and take you back to a feeling that you don't want to feel. Especially TikTok doom scrolling, 100% not worth it. Maybe pick up the phone to call a friend. That's definitely more helpful. Real, meaningful, true human connection, true natural methods of breaking. Avoid technology at all costs. Now, this is one that I've struggled with throughout my whole academic year. I will not be ashamed to mention that. I've had a problem with it and I'm still continuously learning, but I'll tell you what's worked for me. And I've taken a note of what things I need to do when I start to feel a bit stressed, and that is helpful, like that method of journaling on my notes app. But then also just natural journaling, like writing down stuff. The main thing is recognizing burnout when you're going through it and figuring out how do you overcome it in your way. For me, burnout looks like procrastination, inefficiency, stress, worry, anxiety, all of those kind of things. Fear that my time is constantly in waste. And my solution to that usually is slowing down in everything. I'm a notorious person for just doing things really quickly. But I like to compare to my brother and be like, my brother is literally a sloth, but he ends up getting so much more done than me because he is moving at a slower pace, is a lot more tranquil and not as stressed and aggravating himself. And so take things slower. Taking things slower does not only look like slowing down the actual things that you're doing, but slowing down in terms of just shut off. Just shut off. If you need a day to yourself to revamp, rejuvenate, focus on you, do that. It's always worth it, because what time are you truly wasting when you have already procrastinated away your time? That is something that I am really working on. Getting normal and okay with losing that day, especially as a student, because as a student you've got your set timetable, you've got your own way of managing your time. You're not bound to an employer. You can actually dictate your schedule. And so if you need a day off, take that day off, especially in your early young ages, because when you get into work, holidays, they don't really exist. You barely get any days off. To enable maximum efficiency, take that day off. Natural methods of restabilizing yourself: exercising, walking, meditating, journaling, and noting things down. You got a bunch of stuff in your head in terms of what you want to do and you're worried. Write down a whole task list of every single thing that has you worried, and then you can prioritize and figure out which one you should focus on, or which one is not actually a worry, or which one needs to be done today or tomorrow. Sleep is a non-negotiable, but sleep should fit the way in which you work. For example, they say 8 hours of sleep is essential. The normal amount of time to sleep is 8 hours, but I don't always need 8 hours. I don't really need 8 hours. 6 hours is great for me, even 7 sometimes. And so accept if you don't need the full 8 hours, or if you need a bit more than 8 hours. You might need a 9, you might need a 10. So how are you going to work your schedule in ways that means that it makes up for the extra hours that you've missed? Maybe you like sleeping within a certain frame. Things that you should do before you get into sleep. I like to listen to white noise, no bright lights in my room, no sounds. I drink a �2,ᴜᴜ tea before I go to bed. Those stuff make me feel, when I wake up, rejuvenated. Like, I feel so good. I feel so calm and tranquil. So now that we've gone through all the things that you need to be doing to frame a successful academic year, how do we sustain it? This section is going to be on staying consistent and building a personalized system. When we start to feel a bit motivational about having academic success, we put in a bunch of idealistic frameworks, a timetable, goals, etc. Realistically, success is not about a perfect routine. It's about continuously refining it. New situations arise, new focuses, new worries, new personal situations. Everyone is going through it. The only way that you're going to see success and come out of it great is where you're able to adapt to your bespoke scenarios. And that's why you need a personalized system. A system that works for me might not work for you. My system is built around my prayer times. My system's also built around the fact that I don't like going to the gym at 6 p.m. I like going to the gym in the morning. It's built for me, not for you. And so accept that. Yes, take inspiration from a bunch of other YouTubers that have said this is a great framework, but take a bit of it. You don't have to take the whole thing. Take it and adapt it. My framework also leans on the fact that I love studying at night. I hate studying in between the day, so I do other things during the day. I love studying in the morning as well, so it's built around that. If you don't like studying in the morning, find a system that works for you. Building the right system is an iterative process. Find the system that works best for you. Do it, review it, and adjust. Try a new study system for about 2 weeks or a couple of days. See what's working, see what's not, and then make new tweaks and try it again. It's a learning process, the same way that you learn new concepts in your education system. Build systems that work for you. The more you rely on building a great system, the more likely you are going to see success in the long term. An important lesson from the book Atomic Habits. And then during this process of changing and revising, I like to think of it similar to when you're building that great gym routine. Every week you're going to change, especially where you're progressive overloading. Make sure that you take note of it in essentially something like your gym journal. your routine journal. What has worked in the past, what's not going to work? Because like I said, as you go through life, new bespoke scenarios will happen and you might want to rely on past systems or create new ones. And so having a journal to note this all down is so important. For me, creating a set timetable for my new term has helped me figure out what are the best ways for me to approach this new term, where I probably have a bit more time compared to the last term, especially as some of my lessons have been pulled out. And so it's important to adapt over time, and you can do this and track it through your journal, like I said already, but also Notion. For guidance on how to create a great timetable for yourself as a student, I'm going to link below my personal one. Okay, last tip, my holy grail, especially at the moment, the one that I stick by, so important, your support system. Who do you have around you that is going to continue to motivate you and remind you who you are? This quote in particular sticks by me. Please bear in mind, I am not a fan of Kanye.
Hang around people who act like you are who you are, then you'll forget who you are.
Your environment shapes your success. Surround yourself around the right people. Likes will always be around likes. If you want to do well academically, surround yourself around the smart people. Don't just surround yourself around a bunch of smart people that are the same level as you. Even smarter people that you can learn from. Yeah, it might not strike your ego, but it's so important to learn from other people because you're going to be able to fill up the gaps that you are missing. Hang around them to collaborate and do it genuinely. I don't like when people approach me and they're not as genuine, because I can easily tell. I'm always an open person and I like to think that other people are. And when you are building a genuine connection, I like you not even just because you're smart, but because you seem like a cool person. You do this, that and the third, and so love to hang out with you, or could you explain this thing? Be straight up about what your intentions are. I'm stuck on this question, or I'm stuck on this module, could you help me out? And I'm sure people are always open to having a conversation. In terms of creating the right support system through your peers, not only that, find the right teachers to reach out to. If your current teacher that is teaching you the course is not really helpful, go see another teacher. Or just go see your teacher really frequently and see them individually. Usually teachers actually like when students approach them individually because it shows that you have a genuine interest in the subject. Don't just do it because you think that you should be doing it. Go ask real questions that you have, because sometimes it does strike their ego. Oh, they're interested in my subject, or they like the way that I teach something, and they're more likely to answer your personalized questions on one-to-ones than in class. And then obviously family is so important. It's so important to let your family know about how you're feeling or what's going on with yourself. Be open, be honest, and if you don't feel as if you have much family that you can reach out to a friend, reach out to a course mate. I'm sure there's always somebody that is ready to support. And if not, get away in the comments. I'm sure there's other people that are also struggling, because sometimes times can be really lonely, and so it's so important to not dwell in that. Be open, seek support, and also focus on you, because the only thing that is going to really bring you joy is looking right inside you. Reaching out to your course mates who might share similar academic aspirations as you is going to guarantee you a network or support system of reliable individuals that can support you with anything really on your course or on more personal related matters, such as maybe essay feedback or helping you write some kind of references or drafts a personal statement, because they also see the purpose of that in your academic success. Honestly, the smartest thing that I ever invested in as a university student was just getting comfortable with just asking people that I know questions. I knew a lot of people in my first year, but by the time that I got to second year, I was like, what is the use of knowing all these people just for a social reason? I should speak to them for more deeper reasons, such as learning more about them through asking those questions. And these can become long-term relationships in the future. A successful academic year isn't about luck, it's about strategy. Set intentional goals, study smarter, not harder. Study smarter, not longer. Balance school and life. Stay consistent and refine your routine. And lastly, surround yourself with a supportive community. These are the only ways that you are guaranteed a successful academic year. Success in school is all about balance. And as you go through the years, you realize the lack of worth of you stressing so much and being consumed in your thoughts about academia, and the importance of intentionality, strategy, and balance. So as a side challenge, maybe put yourself up to the test for 75 days or less, 30 days. Try and build these habits, create a new system, review your friendship group, review your goals, figure out what you need to do for these next few weeks to set to achieve the academic goals that you initially had in mind. I hope this video gave you some useful tips. My name's Halima. I am a third-year law student at London University, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video as well, and also like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.